Do I like it? I think last week, 2 weeks ago, Training Mask was having a sale, so I was like, you know what? Let me just try it out. So I ended up ordering it. I got a size medium. I got a case for the mask, a spray clean. All right, Training Mask, rubber silicone case with this, and I think you have your way to adjust the difficulty here. There's a little manual here, so I'm gonna read that. Let me try to get this set up.
It feels kind of weird. I put it on backwards when I was setting it up, but you can see here. Okay, that's pretty... Whoa, that's really hard to breathe. Okay, that's a lot easier. This is really hard.
So I've had a chance to wear test this Training Mask 3.0 for about 3 weeks to a month now, and had a chance to kind of gather my thoughts about how I feel about the product, and so we're gonna go over that. So the pros. Number one, I think it helped with my endurance, stamina, cardio training. So the kind of exercise that I've used this with were TRX exercises, banded, lightweight, dumbbell, jumping, running.
So I'm about half mile in. It's really hard. It's pretty hard. I'm breathing pretty hard.
Sprinting. Oh man, I'm dying. I'm dying. Some agility exercises, so that's kind of the main way I use the Training Mask. And so let's go with running first. Like, I'm not much of a runner, right? So my cardio at default isn't like the greatest, but it's not bad. So the first time I used it, started with a 4 resistance, way too high, moved to a 3, same run, still too high, then a 2. So I kind of calibrated to a 2 resistance level, and that felt okay. And so I ran at a 2 for maybe 3, 4, or 5 runs, and that was challenging for me. Like, my pace wasn't insane, but at 2 it feels like really challenging, because I mean, you have less air to breathe, right? But during this time I had kind of the side goal of trying to break the 5 minute, I mean not the 5 minute, whoa, the 6 minute mile, so for myself, personal goal, and I was able to do that. And I used the mask kind of to help facilitate that goal. Introducing this extra load to my exercises and workouts seemed to help. This is all qualitative, right? I don't have any metrics to kind of measure this, but like feel-wise, running felt easier without it after using it for a while, and working out in general felt easier without it versus with it. And that goes for, like, you know, the same workout. So running with it on in the same workout and then taking it off midway felt a lot easier. Same with working out. And also, like, okay, let me do a whole workout with the mask and then like not use the mask the next time felt a lot easier, right? So that's kind of how I feel with this. The second pro. Seems kind of obvious, but not really, but it helps you become more aware of how you're breathing, because if you notice in some of those clips,
it's pretty hard. I'm breathing pretty hard.
you can hear you breathe really clearly, so then you can become more aware of how you're breathing, especially during these exercises. So particularly for running, I'm like gasping for air, right? And how I'm breathing is more apparent to me because I can hear it. Being able to be aware of that and then controlling how you breathe after you're aware of it, then I think that was kind of interesting while I was using it, because, you know, breathing is kind of more or less a subconscious thing. We're always breathing. We don't, I mean, you know you're breathing, but you don't actively try to breathe, right? You kind of just breathe by default. So this makes you very aware of how you're breathing and what rate you're breathing at, and being able to control that during your exercise can have a lot of impact on how you perform during that exercise. Okay, so those are the main pros. Let's move on to the cons. Let's talk about price. So default, the Training Mask 3.0, $70, right? $69.99. I got a bundle. It comes with like another strap, another face guard, cleaning spray. That was on sale for $69.99, which I think is very expensive for this. I don't know if I would buy it again, to be honest, especially for someone who doesn't really train cardio too much. Other than, you know, I play basketball when I can or before. That's pretty much my main source of cardio. But now I've been running a lot more, so I think it's too expensive for this. If this were maybe around like the $30 price point, that would make it more attractive to me. But for $70, this seems like a bit much, and that I'll go on further about why as I talk about the next cons. Second con is kind of just the build. This material feels fine, this plastic part feels fine, but let's talk about like the fit. So like you'll notice like it kind of like crunches or like squishes your ear weirdly, because I don't think the strap fits very well. So I got a size medium, and they guide you on what size to pick based on your weight. So I picked the one that fit my weight, and medium was that. So I think this is too big, because oftentimes, especially during jumping, I would find this sliding down the back of my head, and so like squishing my ears, right? So I would constantly have to readjust. So I don't think the fit is all that great, to be honest. So it was not like a super comfortable experience wearing this. And the other thing about the build that I also didn't like is the main thing you use on this product is this little slider here, right? This slider right here is the main thing you like play with, right? Or not play with, but you use on the product, right? And I don't know if you'll tell via the video, but this is very mushy. And what I mean by mushy is like it's not super clicky. Like I can't really tell what level I'm at because it just kind of glides really easily. I don't understand why this wasn't more clicky, or like I need more feedback as to what position I'm at, because I can't tell. Like I'm running it and I'm like, all right, let me change the resistance. I can't tell. So I'm like, I would have to stop, reset to like 0, then like slowly click 1, 2, and then like, all right, I'm on resistance 2, and then I start running again. But like this is way too mushy, where it's like I want it to be like a very hard click, 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 so I know kind of what position resistance I'm at. And it's like this is the one thing that we use. Like this should be a more pleasant experience in terms of like being able to toggle between positions, because like this like just glides, not glides, but like it's really easy to move this, and so it's not as clear while you're working out what resistance level I'm at. So those are like my biggest complaints in terms of fit. Like this doesn't fit that well, the strap, and this main thing isn't clicky enough. Like I was so annoyed because I'm like, oh my gosh, what level am I at? And then I have to stop. You get it. And so those are like the main cons that kind of turned me off, which is why the $70 price point doesn't really seem justified to me. Like if this build quality and this were better, okay, maybe $50, sure. But I don't know, $70 for something where I'm just like, dude, this is so annoying to use, and this like fit isn't the greatest. It's kind of high price of entry for me. But that's kind of my thoughts. Do I like it? Yes and no, right? I like it as a tool. So as a tool to kind of supplement your training, I think it could work for you, right? Depending on what you're trying to achieve. As a product though, I'm just more like upset that they didn't execute on the product. Like they could have made this so much better by just making this the tactile feedback better and making this fit. Maybe it's my fault. Maybe I should have got small. Maybe I'm overweight and so this is actually too big for me, which might be the case. But I wanted to like it. I wanted to love it. Like I wanted to love it, but I just don't. I just don't love the product. I like the tool. So like what it does for you in terms of training, I think it works, or it could work, right? As a product, room for improvement. But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts. So do I see myself using this? Yes, even though I don't like it. I mean, I already paid for it, right? I'll mainly use it for like more like high intensity hit workouts, or like cardio, anything where it's like gets your heart rate up, or kind of trains your cardio. I'll probably use this. In terms of strength training, once gyms open up, or if gyms open up anytime soon, I probably won't use it for weightlifting or anything like that, but running, sure. Basketball, yeah. Yeah, sprints, jumping, I can see myself using that. But yeah, those are kind of my thoughts. Thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed already, consider subscribing. Follow me on Instagram, and if you like these videos, I do more review. I don't really do reviews, but if it helps out, cool. If it doesn't, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.